Yes. All right. There you go. All right. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And thanks for coming. Who comes this meetup for the first time? Oh, many of you. Usually we have kind of 15 to 20 people, but maybe this is just January and many people still sleep in their bed, so I don't know. So not too many people this time. So I do some presentation, and my colleague, Yuki, actually we have two Yuki tonight, and with another Yuki, usually, right? And we have another Japanese Yuki comes in. Comes in for the presentation. And so this is our first time of this year. And the next one is kind of special. Unfortunately, we do not have presenters for the next month, but we are going to do NuGet Pro, the special session, one-day hands-on training. So it's going to be, I guess it's the third Monday of February when the public holiday, right? And we are going to have like 6-7 hours hands-on one-day training. And if you are willing to sign up, please check the meetup.com site as frequent as possible, so that we will be publishing the event maybe end of this week. And Alex and Jim Borden will be the presenter to explain how you can use NuGet package and the public NuGet, as well as NuGet Pro, which is a kind of internal NuGet package management system, so that you can manage all your packages internally as well.
Actually, that's already up.
Sorry?
It's already there.
It's already there.
Yeah, I was looking for this event.
Yeah. And yeah, but we have the kind of very long session to fully explain the detail with hands-on, I believe. I just booked the room, so I don't know the detail yet. I hope I figured. And the next meetup going to be the special event on Monday. And I'm just thinking about if we should do the another meetup event on the next day, because usually we do the Tuesday. But anyway, I figured better. All right, thank you for joining. All right, so let's start. And we also looking for any volunteer to be a speaker. So if you, one of you, the new guys, if you'd like to present something, please be a presenter anytime. And you don't be shy. You can share anything you want, and that benefits everybody anyway in some way. All right. All right, so today I will talk about Azure Web App under the context of Azure CLI, ASP.NET Core, and Visual Studio Code. And how many of you using Azure Web App? Or do you have any Azure subscription? Not much. So even though you have Azure subscription, you do not use Web App? What's wrong with you guys? So Web App is a kind of hosting service which you can hosting your web application very easily, right? And we have many similar services everywhere. Like Heroku is one of the famous service which you can host Node.js application. And Azure Web App, you can host like Python, PHP, Node, C#, etc., etc. But today I would like to introducing Azure Web App with Azure CLI. How many of you know Azure CLI? No? Yep, that's good the topic. And I'm using ASP.NET Core, and I'm using the Visual Studio Code as an editor. And are you guys using Windows? Yes. Macintosh? Linux? No Linux. Okay. All right. Yeah. So let's start from Azure CLI. When you play with Azure, the most I can say user-friendly way to using the Azure is by using Azure Portal, which is a website. So you open the browser, go into the portal.azure.com, and you can do everything by using UI, and then click and drag and drop, and just type slow. Yes, sometimes it's very slow. And then, what's wrong with UI? UI is perfect and great, but the human being is the most the cause of the making mistakes. So we would like to automate everything, meaning we would like to script out everything, right? So that next time we just run script. So we need to have the mechanism to run the script to make it happen. So let's imagine you need to set up the VM, maybe Linux VM, virtual machine. So you set up, you configure all the details, and you write down the documentation on how to set up this Linux virtual machine. And you hand over to others. And guess what? The other guy doing their own way to make the VM slightly different, which causes a different issue. So that's the reason why we would like to script them out. And we have several technology to scripting, like our template is one way. Our template is something you can define all the configuration information by using the JSON, and you just loading the configuration to the R template, and it's automatically generating it. Another way is we can use PowerShell, Azure PowerShell commandlets or module. So you can load Azure module into your PowerShell environment, and you can do whatever you want. Then, when we have PowerShell module, why we need another tool? Because CLI sounds better than PowerShell. So the reason why is, of course, PowerShell becoming the cross-platform just recently, but Azure CLI is developed from the cross-platform from the starting point. So the developers start creating Azure CLI for multi-platform by default. So when you study how to use Azure CLI, you can use it on Windows, Mac, Linux, or even the Azure portal has embed CLI. So you can just click the command prompt kind of ish icon, and the how can I say execution playground. I don't know, the kind of console like window opens on the bottom side of the screen, and you can just type the command. Actually, that is a Azure CLI. And so Azure CLI, that's which is a command line tool, yes. And that's a cross platform. And easy to use, I believe. And cover most scenario. The point is most scenario. Sometimes you have to use PowerShell because which has a bit more capability at this moment. Or you may need to use UI browser to achieve something, but most common scenario is covered by Azure CLI anyway, and the developers keep adding the feature. And I will do the demo for Azure CLI later, but do you have any question about Azure CLI? No? All right, let's move on. All right, so the next one is ASP.NET Core. Again, ASP.NET Core is based on .NET Core. And Microsoft has a .NET framework, which is a full .NET framework for Windows. Then we start developing the .NET Core, which is a cross-platform. So when you have .NET application running on Core, meaning you can run the application on the Windows, Linux, and Mac. So it's cross-platform by default. And what the good point is ASP.NET Core is very similar to normal full ASP.NET. So if you already know about ASP.NET, it's not too hard to study ASP.NET Core. If these two are totally different, it's kind of difficult to study. The learning curve is not so many. And not only ASP.NET, other .NET technology are very similar. The class name is kind of same, and namespace are same, and the behavior is same. But full .NET have a bit more capability compared to .NET Core at this moment. .NET Core just supporting the .NET Standard 2.0. And .NET Standard is another tricky terminology which confuses people. So we have .NET Framework, and we have .NET Core. We also have Xamarin. And then there is a .NET Foundation, .NET 2.0, and it's a definition. So it's just a spec. So if you say this library is compatible with .NET 2.0, meaning you have to implement these classes, these methods. So when you see .NET Core 2.0 is compatible with .NET 2.0 in the definition, then you can expect it to work with other library which supports 2.0 as well. Then it also covers most scenarios. So sometimes we have to use .NET Framework, full .NET Framework, to achieve something we want. But most of the time, we can live by or get by using ASP.NET Core at this moment. And then finally, Visual Studio Code. Again, this is cross-platform. How many of you are using Visual Studio 2017 or 2015? Full Visual Studio. And Visual Studio for Mac, Visual Studio Code. That's good. So Visual Studio 2017 is a powerful Windows application, and we just releasing full Mac version as well. But we do not. I believe we don't have for Linux yet, or I don't know if I can say yet or not. I have no idea what's the plan. But the Visual Studio Code is developed for the cross-platform, and this is very lightweight. So let's remember when Windows 98 comes out, you click the power button in the morning. And the next thing you do is go out to grab coffee because it's taking too much time to boot up, right? Then Windows 10, it boot up instantly. So you don't have any more time to grab coffee. But when you launch Visual Studio, it's your another time to grab coffee because Visual Studio taking you a bit of time. Of course, compared to 2015, it's getting way, way faster. But Visual Studio Code, you just launch immediately, so you don't have any time for coffee. And it's lightweight, and it covers many features. Not only for C# or .NET, it's also good for Go language, PHP, Python, Ruby, and there are even TypeScript, JavaScript, Java, what I forget, and Cordova, Arduino. Anyway, it's covered everything. But simply put, this is an editor. You know what I mean? This is an editor. With add-in, this can be powerful debugger, but the concept is editor. So the other day we had the survey in the internet, which editor you're using. And the number one editor that people are using in the world is Vim, V-I-M, 30%. But the interesting part is Visual Studio Code last year, like 2016, was kind of 5%. Now it's becoming like 20. And it's considered to be an editor, right? Make sense? So there is no Visual Studio, there is no Eclipse, there is no Xamarin Studio, but Visual Studio Code is there as an editor. Yeah. And I didn't see Notepad. I saw Notepad++. All right. So let me just go back. So I believe you already see that today's theme. I try to using the tool which cross-platform only. So what you study or what you learn today can be applied for any platform, Windows, Macintosh, Linux, doesn't matter. So that's the point of today's topic. Then once you develop some application, you have to host it anywhere or somewhere, right? Then the Amazon, Google, maybe, or IBM, but Microsoft also have Azure. And the Azure Web App Service is a kind of very great match for these technologies. Yeah, that's the point. So Azure Web App, of course, it supports .NET Core. So you do not have to think too much about it. you just develop ASP.NET Core application and deploy. That's all. You don't need any configuration. You don't need any special setup. Just spin up the web app, deploy, done. Then we support Git deploy. This is what I will show you today. So for the people using Visual Studio 2017, the most common way to deploy is right-click the project, deploy, or publish. And I totally agree on the method is very useful. But again, sometimes we like to use command line. Then we have command line to publishing by like Azure CLI to publish something. But Git is very easy to like Git push to the web app and it's done. So that's super cool, right? Actually, this is supported by Heroku long time ago. And of course, we can use Azure CLI to set it up. So let's imagine you need to set up a web API or a web app, and you need to destroy it by some reason. Then you have to recreate it. Do you want to keep doing that manually? Or when you need 100 web API, what you want to do? Then we have CLI to cover the automation and scripting. All right, demo time. But before doing that, do you have any question? No? All right. So first of all, what I want to do is open the command prompt. This big enough? Maybe just make it bigger. And if you'd like to install Azure CLI, just open browser and search for Azure CLI, and you find a way to download it. It's very easy. And once you install the Azure CLI, very first thing you need to do is you need to log on to your Azure subscription. So the AZ is a shortcut for the command, not shortcut. This is a command itself, actually. So when I type AZ and run, you see the nice cool ASCII art, and there are a bunch of help commands. So these are the things you can do by using AZ command. Okay. So let me do AZ login. And to sign in, open the browser. And by some security reason, I would like to offload this screen to my main monitor so that you don't see it. So please wait for a moment. So just copy the address. And paste it to the browser. Actually, I can show you the browser, but and the command prompt showing us the device ID, which we can put, or device code. If I hit continue, I can log in by using my my Coop account. And once you log in, it's automatically going back to the terminal, so you do not have to copy and paste anymore. And please wait a moment until my terminal loading all the information. The reason why I don't want to showing my screen at this moment is because subscriptions have kind of sensitive name, which I don't want to share for the entire world. And let me double check. All right, so when you have multiple subscriptions, you get them all. Then there is a parameter set is default. So whatever you operate, like create resource group, create web apps, everything going to the subscription. So if you have 3 subscriptions and the first one gets set by default, all the operation go into that subscription. So just be careful which subscription you are working on. And you can easily switch the subscription by using AZ account set command. And you can do the AZ account set -- name, and you can specify the name to switch which subscription you would like to work on. All right, so coming back. So at this moment, this terminal already log on to my Azure, and I set the correct Azure subscription, so I can do whatever I want. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I would like to create resource group for this demo. And to do so, let me type AZ group. So group meaning the resource group. And create a name, let's say Meetup, and the location, Japan East. And by doing this, this creates the resource group for me. Okay. And then to create web application, the web app instance is a place where you can host your code. And we have to charge you, of course, to make money, right? Then you can select which plan you would like to use for hosting the application. There are a free plan and very expensive plan having the different features. So what you need to do is you have to create plan first to set up website. When you do that on the UI, actually it looks like you create web app first and specify a plan later. But then actually we are creating the service plan first, then assign that to the web app. So we have to create service plan. So what we can do, scroll up, AZ app service plan, and create name, maybe Meetup plan. And what's the resource group is, I just create Meetup resource group, so Meetup. And SKU, this is the important part because this is where the money comes in. So I just using the SKU F1, which is a free instance. There you go. So I have resource group and I have a service plan, which is free. And I would like to create the web app now. So to do so, AZ web app, create, and name, let's say Meetup web, and resource group Meetup, and plan is Meetup plan. That's good. Come on. So not only browser, but the CLI also take time. I hope I didn't make any mistake. Or I didn't hit enter. Sorry, it never works. All right. Can I pause the video here? Come on, web app. Yep, so it's created and it's starting. Now the web app is created under the plan, which is F1 free subscription, under the one resource group called Meetup. And address is all right, so this is the address. So let's see if this really exists. and open your preferred browser. Yeah, your app service is up and running, but actually I have nothing deployed yet. But it's still nice to have kind of blank application, right, by default, so that you still see it's up and running. And if you pay the subscription, it may charge you, but this is a free subscription and a free plan, so no worries. All right, next I need to create the MVC application by using .NET Core, ASP.NET Core. So how we can do that? If you are using Visual Studio, you open Visual Studio 2017 and from create new project, and you can select template, right? That's a very good part of the Visual Studio. But Visual Studio Code do not have that capability. Yet .NET runtime or .NET command line gives you that ability so that you can create from template very easily. So let me do something quick. Just switch the place to desktop. And let's make directory Meetup. All right, so from here, change to Meetup. And what I can do is .NET. When you install .NET Core, this is a command line for the .NET. And you can do new. If you hit enter at this moment, you can see what kind of template you can use. There are several types. And this time I'm using .NET new, and I would like to create MVC application. And name is Meetup Web. And what this does is creating the template and restore all the dependency. And there should be one folder. So when I do the dir command, directory command, Meetup Web is there. So just change directory to Meetup Web. Now I can open the Visual Studio Code to look into the application. But there is something we can still do in the command line. What we can do is we can publish this default application to the cloud. Because as you may know, MVC template already have some kind of application, right? So what we can do is, as I said, you can configure web application to accept the Git to receive all the files. To do so, we have to configure web app to accept the Git. So let's configure it first. What I can do is coming back to the terminal. And AZ web app, first of all, we need to create a deployment. We have to specify user. This user is used to authenticate when you git push to the remote. So deployment user, and I want to set username, and just let me use my alias and password using the super secure password. I hope nobody sees it. And by doing this, I can set the username and the password. Oh, something went wrong. So deployment AZ web, nope, web app. That web app deployment. If you find typo, please let me know. Then what I can do is, this is a user information, right? Now I want to set this user information to my web app. So AZ web app. Again, this is part of the deployment, and the source config local. So this source, what this source is, we have web application, and we would like to set the source code to that web application. So which means we can, at this moment, I'm setting local Git as a web source, as the source, I'm using the local Git as a source of the web app, which meaning you can set external Git as well. So you can specify GitHub as your source code, then you can do the DevOps as well. When you check into GitHub, you can push the source code to the web app. So, but because I would like to push everything directly to the web app, I'm using this local Git. And the name of the web app is Meetup Web. And the resource group. Resource group with a Meetup. All right, now it gives me back the Git address of this web application. So I can just simply push my source code to this Git address and everything should work. Now what I should do is, anyway, currently my MVC application do not Git enabled yet. So let's do, or just open the folder to make sure what I'm saying is right. So I open the folder, and sorry, this is tiny, but I hope you can see there is no .git folder, meaning it's not Git enabled. So what I can do is Git init. Now I have a .git folder, right? And what I need to do next? Maybe I want to set the remote. So git remote add origin. And the address, this is address, right? So I set the remote. Then I need to check in everything. So git add that, and I added everything. Then git it, and I committed everything. So at this moment, I check in everything locally this computer, not to the website. So what I can do now is we can push in everything to the website, right? So git push and origin master. Authentication failed. All right, so what I can do? What's wrong here? Origin master authentication failed. I set up my user password, right? But this guy did not ask me. So username and password. It should ask me this one. All right. So the username was wrong. So I'm using the different Git username. So let me just reset it. All right. So Azure Web App Deployment user set username KENAKAMU. This should match with my Git config. And let's see if I need to set to my web app again. And finally, let me try to push it. I think the address is the same, right? The address looks same. So push. We can do it. Here, I have the username password prompt. Yeah, this should work. And the authentication failed. Are you kidding me?
It's the old URL.
Are you? So, which one? Which one?
It says authentication failed. Is that the old URL?
Old URL? Okay. Let me just redo by simply deleting the Git. Go away. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. All right. Git init. Git remote, add, and what's the address? This one, right? This is one. Origin, and git add everything, git commit everything, and git push. If it's fair, we can forget this. Come on. All right, I have a user and password. So it's now what? Ooh, nice. So it's start uploading. The initial one taking a bit of time, but from the second time it should be way faster. That's how it works. And meanwhile, let me go back to browser to see if this got new application once this push done. It's still pushing. Restoring package. Yeah, only initial time taking too much time, but from second time, from my experience, kind of 2-3 seconds, it's very quick. It depends on how much change you do though. And this restoring package part is taking too much time. So if you do not change package config often, it should finish soon. And keep copying. By the way, if you are interested in Git deep dive, I also can do that. I'm a very Git geek, so even though I made some mistakes, I still know how it works. All right, so everything copy and installing the packages and recompile everything. Just a bit more. And we also have installing .NET Core Platform 1.0.2. Actually, we have 2.0, I guess. Yeah. Okay, restore completed. Now what? We may need to compile. It's not done yet, right? Yep. So it's doing the compile, yes. And everything becomes DL. And copying the compiled file, done. Nice. All right, refresh. Now ASP.NET Core application is up and running. So far, I just do everything by using one prompt. So if you script everything and make the one small batch file, you can do everything with one click. Or if you want to create the web application every minute, I don't know why, but you can do so. All right, so this is how easy it is by using Azure CLI and .NET command to publish everything. And this works on Windows, of course, because I'm on Windows now, but you can do that on Macintosh and Linux as well. Now let's see the code, code in the code. So if you do code that, it does open the folder inside the Visual Studio Code. What's different between Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio is Visual Studio Code consider a folder as a project. So you have to open the appropriate project. So Visual Studio opens the project file, right? Then it tries to find all the references and loading everything to the one place. Visual Studio Code consider a folder as a project. So when you open the folder, it looks like a project. But when you open just one file, it just opens one file. And if you already know about what MVC, how MVC works, even though this is ASP.NET Core, not ASP.NET, it's exactly the same. We have controllers, we have models, we have views. And when we see the controller, it does inherit from controller, not API controller or any other controller, but this is originally, I thought it was called ASP.NET 5 or 6, and officially it becomes ASP.NET 4. Now, API or the page does not matter. We only have one controller to handle everything. Actually, that makes sense, right? Because if you get HTML back, it's page. If you get JSON back, it's web API. But from technology point of view, it's the same, right? Do something, get data, just push it back. And for the view, we just return the view. And where is this view coming from? We are just using the naming convention of the MPC. So this is a home controller and index method. Meaning, if I go to views, home, and index. So when I'm accessing the address /home/index, then this view will be returned. So this is very basic, and if you see nothing changed dramatically. Several parts has been changed, but not dramatic. All right. Any question for the .NET Core? I just want to say it's kind of the same. Only a difference are very small. So if you never touch .NET Core because it sounds scary, just try. Go ahead. Question.
URL routing.
URL routing, yeah.
Are you using attribute or configuration?
So URL routing is actually on the code in the code. So if you see the startup, and inside the startup we have the routing map here.
The new is the attribute routing.
And we can do attribute routing as well. Yeah. And we can do the any other fancy routing as well. Yeah. All right, so this is it. And the other different part is we do not have like NuGet package tool. And you may need to understand, you may need to know which package you need to get, and you can just update the package config. And any other difference? Or if you have Visual Studio, of course, you can open this with Visual Studio. And let's debug. So this is the Visual Studio code editor, but it becomes a debugger as well. So if I this already find what I'm missing, I just say yes. So when you open the some project, it look inside the project, try to find what we are missing, like C# extension or like Java extension. Then when it find what I'm missing, it prompts me to, hey, you should install this. So just click yes to install everything. And once installed, what you can do is just hit F5. That's exactly the same with Visual Studio. And let me just put the breakpoint in the home controller and index. And it hit, right? So this experience is exactly same with Visual Studio. And of course, you can do the mouse over to see the values, so you can see the code stacks. So you have everything. Of course, Visual Studio has better experience from my own opinion, but Visual Studio Code has enough feature. All right, so that's it. Any question? Go ahead.
If you are using the same controller for both MVC and MVC Web API, how do you determine what to return, like HTML or JSON?
So it depends on the address, because the developer already know which address you should call when you get the data. You know what I mean? Or you can just put the API between if you want. Because the user never tried to accessing some API by their own free will, right? Yeah. Even though they can.
You're saying separating the URL routing.
You can separate, but you don't have to. Who knows, if you access /home/index, you may want to just JSON back, right? There's no limitation. Yeah. You are the one to decide, and you are the one to define the Swagger, so that other developer using your web API never confused. Okay. Yeah. All right. That's it. Thank you. Thank you for applause. And who is the next one? Please come. Do you use your own computer?
Yeah, right.
The thing is, we are broadcasting this to YouTube,
Oh, really?
so you may want to join to the Hangout.
Hangout. Yeah.
Or if you don't want to broadcasting this, we can stop it now.
Oh, yeah.
Whichever you want. Okay, if you have Google account, I can invite you. Of course, everybody has a Google account. Why not? Sure. By the way, he is my colleague.
Oh, yeah.
Another Yuki.
I'm Yuki.
Yeah, we have another Yuki over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm second Yuki.
Yeah. And you can just type your Gmail account here in my computer. So if you never use Visual Studio Code, please install. And if you have Macintosh, I strongly recommend you to using Visual Studio Code for any development without any bias. I'm a developer. I'm very pure to technology. Of course, I love Microsoft, but as a developer, I prefer selecting something useful, right?
Which URL?
You can just type your Gmail account here,
Oh, I
and it will invite you. And for the February, I guess Azure MVP, Microsoft Variable Person, will be presenting something interesting, like the box or Azure feature for the .NET developer. And Azure MVP from other countries should join in, as long as I receive email. So, and if you guys would like to present something, please let me know. And it should relate to .NET. But if it's .NET, you can do anything. Doesn't have to be very super geeky technology stuff. You can do lightweight level 100 beginning or beginner session as well, which still benefit everybody. Or if you prefer Java, you can just explain Java versus .NET, which is better.
I did it.
Yeah, he did it. And .NET is we have wide variety of the topics, like F#. We have F# specialist here. C#, VB.NET, I don't know how many people use VB.NET anymore. Windows Form, Xamarin, UWP. So we have so many topics on .NET. So if you find something interesting, please let me know. Right? Are you ready, Yuki? And if you're ready, I can pass this to you. Let's take a 5-minute break. Yeah, because he needs to prepare.インバイトした？入った？今ね、まだ来てない。
インストールプラグインをした。
あとね、あれ、Chrome じゃないと。
あ、本当ですか
？Chrome に入れろって言われる。Chrome に入れろって言われる。わかんない。Edge はもう対応したかもしれない。
いや、Edge 対応してなかったです。Edge 対応してないからインターネットエクスプローラーにしろって言われました。
マジで
インターネットエクスプ
Chrome ない
ローラーで Chrome の多分、いや、Chrome 入ってます。
Chrome でいい。Chrome で hangout.google.com、hangouts.google.com なんかに行けば。
あ、できそうです。
できそう。いける？で、OK ってやって。なんかね、アグリーしないといけない。出た。やっぱり Chrome でやるってことじゃん。いやー、一緒だね。たまになるよね。
2段階認証がデフォルトなんで。あ、見ました。
ブロードキャストなんで、デスクトップ上のやつは気をつけてね。
あ、大丈夫です。
そんな問題があることが映ったり、そんなに多くの人が見るわけじゃないと思うし、最悪消せるんで。
このビデオハングアウトに参加することは許可されていません。と出ます。
嘘、インバイトしよう。インバイトしてよ。ちょっともう一回。アドレス。
mr.yukihattori@gmail。
インバイトした。どう
あ、来ましたね。
で、プレゼントにこっちはマイクミュートにするので、で、画面のシェアを、してもらって、で、シェアしてる方のスクリーンをこれで。
はい。
いいですね。
見にいただきます。これって枠は出ないですかね。
で、さしてね、まあ、いいですから。いない。お願いします。はい。
ブロードキャストされてます今
ね。
There's not even going to be anything. I guess they shoot that message to the message.
されてるっぽいけど、ちょっと画面切り替えて、
Incoming
はい。
is not going to be anything, so they have that requirement.
いや、バグってますね。
So, yeah. I just wanted to see that. Only use stuff. So mainly, when this project is viewed, it's really right. Tool.
その画面シェアしてる。
シェアしてます。画面はデュプリケートになってるんで。
左のやつからシェアしてる。
これですよね。
左の見るか。
あ、そういうことか。お、OK。
まあ、
あ、OK です。
Alright, thanks for waiting.
So, こっちは入ってます。Okay. Good afternoon and Happy New Year. I'm Yuki.
You're showing your main monitor.
Main monitor? Okay, I see. Just a sec. Slideshow.
Yes.
Okay.
And you are still sharing your main monitor. You want to do it?
Oh yeah, I'm now. Maybe it's latency or something like this. Maybe it works. Okay. Hi, I'm Yuki. Working as a tech sales for Agile application development. So I'm a person who is responsible for Agile web apps or Visual Studio services. So today I'm going to talk about Visual Studio App Center. How many people in this room knows Visual Studio App Center? Okay, I see. If you all know this service, the presentation is quite high, difficult for me. And how many you guys are mobile application developer? Okay, I see. So first of all, Microsoft loves developer productivity. So that's why we produce Visual Studio services. So it's the main theme today. How do we develop application faster? But actually, we are facing now many problems. Last November, October, I don't remember that, but Apple produced new iPhone 10. It has very unique displays. It's very bad news for developer, actually. And Apple, iPhone 10 is not the only one who produce unique display form, but Essential, do you know Essential? Essential is a new phone maker and which produce also unique display form. So we have to develop all of these for all of these display devices. And also we have many, every user have different display size devices. And we also have a emerging platform like a smart speaker or Apple Watch and HoloLens. No, I don't know everyone has HoloLens, but yeah, VR device, something like this. So we are facing now new challenges now. And especially mobile platform, we are facing also difficult problem. We have to release new application as fast as possible. And every application must be high quality application. Because if we release very bad application with many errors, maybe users are not satisfied with this application and maybe rate the 0 star for marketplace. And we do have a multi-devices. Even one person, they have many phones and tablets or a PC, many platforms. We have to develop the application. And we have to fix these bugs immediately. So, theme today is productivity. We have to skip inessential steps when we develop the application. So that's why we produce Visual Studio services. As Nakamura-san mentioned that Visual Studio is not the only platform we can develop C# or Visual Basic, but also we can develop these languages by using Visual Studio for Mac and Visual Studio Code. And also maybe we can develop this application on the browser by using Visual Studio Team services. And today I'm gonna introduce the Visual Studio App Center. Visual Studio App Center it's kind of aggregation service. Visual Studio App Center consists of Xamarin Test Cloud and Hockey app and Agile mobile app and one more thing. What that? Visual Studio Team Services, of course. Yes, right. So we combine these services to one application as a Visual Studio App Center. Today, I'm gonna introduce these features with demo. Visual Studio App Center is built for DevOps. We can do many things by using these services. For instance, we can build application on the cloud and test application on the cloud, distribute new release to the user. I mean the user as a test user. And we can get crash reports and analytics reports. And we can send a push notification to the user. First of all, the build. When you open the Visual Studio App Center, you can see the dashboard like this. This is a list of the mobile application. If you tap New, you can create new application pipeline on the Visual Studio App Center. And for instance, the Meetup application. And Meetup application is a description for this application pipeline. And we can choose any OS, iOS, Android, Windows. Unfortunately, we don't support Firefox OS or something like this. But we can still produce Mac OS application by using this. And platform is very flexible. We can choose Objective-C and Swift, and React Native and Cordova. Cordova is very new function for this application, maybe from January. And of course, Xamarin application. So when we create this pipeline, we can define build process. I've already had a created pipeline today, so let's gonna see that. So how we manage build pipeline? We can choose many branches of the source code repository. Of course, we can connect GitHub and Bitbucket and Visual Studio Team Services. Visual Studio Team Services is our Microsoft version GitHub, like plus. Yes, I hope so. And if you open the VSTS, VSTS stands for Visual Studio Team Services, you can see that this Visual Studio App Center consists of many services, like our Visual Studio Team Services. Now we can see the repository of this application. So take a look at your test folder, and this is a Xamarin Forms application written in C#. It's built for cross-platform. And we can manage the dashboard and wiki or documentation or something like that, many things that we can manage. So I've already registered the repository to Visual Studio App Center. So now you can see how many times I failed the build today. So let's take a look at this. Once you push the change to the Visual Studio Team Service repository, these tests or build pipeline run immediately. For instance, create specific builds, and you can see entire log of the build. And we can understand when we fail case. We can see the error log when build failed. And we can download logs and we can take a look at the specific commit of this build. Visual Studio Visual Studio App Center is very new feature, very new services of Microsoft. So we used to have our Visual Studio Team Service at first, but they are not support mobile application like Xamarin or like React Native or something like this kind of application. So building the mobile application by using cloud is very hot topic of Microsoft today. So it's very useful. So next topic is test. By using Visual Studio App Center, we can run UI test on the cloud. The question is, where is the machine? So we have very special data center. I don't know, this is what we call data center or not, but actually we have thousands of devices on this data or device center. The important thing is test on the virtual device, but we run the test on the physical device and take a screenshot by using physical device. It's very important. It's very unique function. It was well known as Xamarin Test Cloud, but after Microsoft Visual Studio, after Xamarin got acquired by Microsoft, it's gonna be our Visual Studio App Center. So after running the test, we can see the results of the test. For instance, this test is just a very simple one, just taking a screenshot of first page. Then you can see the result of the test today, or, yep, okay. For instance, in this test, we test the application by using LG Nexus 5X. But LG Nexus 5X is not the only application we can run the test on the cloud, but we can choose the many devices, iPhone as well. Even Google Pixel 2 is very new device in the world. We support that. Nowadays, we support 245 devices. It's a very good number. And we can create the new device set. Device sets is a definition of how many devices or what kind of device we run the test on the cloud. Okay. Meetup. Set. And once we define that, we run this test after build of build pipeline. Okay. And of course, you can build application manually by clicking it, or you can call API for Visual Studio App Center. And you can also test, run the test code manually, like this. Oops. So it's very cool feature. And if you once create one test, and if you use Xamarin, the test must be run on the Android and iOS multi-platform application devices. And next thing is, oops, yep, distribute feature. We can distribute application after the build is succeed to the test user. Or we can deploy the application on the market, like Apple Market, no, Apple Store, and Apple Store? App Store, yeah, right. App Store and Google Play Market. Or we can connect to Intune company portal. It's for enterprise use. And we can define the distribute group. For instance, test user is not always the only one group, but also we have many groups. Like, for instance, in the company or development team, we have one group for developer, and we have one group for test user, like not developer, non-tech guys. So we can choose which group is suitable for this such kind of release. And you also publish this link in the public URL. So if you want to create this public URL, once you release the application, everyone who knows this URL can download new release of this application. And also, of course, we can distribute new release manually. The fourth feature is crash reports. We can get crash reports. Unfortunately, I don't have any crash reports for now. That's fortunate, I think so. So just only thing I can do is showing the screenshot of the crash reports. But we can analyze, for instance, which device or which API, I mean the Android API. Users have many devices with different APIs. For instance, API level 23 or 24. For instance, more clearly, maybe Oreo or Mushroom? No, Mushroom, yes. User has many different OS. So, for instance, we can get the crash report with specific API data. So next one is analytics. Analytics is not the crash report feature, but it's more like application insight. Do you know the application insights? Okay, application insights is a service on Azure, which make user possible to analyze the user log or IIS log or something like many logs. So now we can know which how many devices in Japan access install this application, or how many users who have Android SDK level 23 installed this application, or how many languages. So this is very important feature for next step. Lastly, I want to introduce push notification features. It's very important for this Visual Studio App Center. This push notification is not like our Azure Notification Hub. This is for a how can I say that this push notification is maybe test only. So it's not, we don't need to send a push notification like you got a mail or something like this. But we can push the notification like this application with Android SDK has error. Please update the application manually or something like this. So we do have an analytics feature on the Visual Studio App Center. So we know that how many people are using the Android SDK level 23, for instance. So we can push the notification for specific Android SDK devices. Once I click send a notification button, and we can put the notification name and contents and title message. And we can select custom data. No, and today I don't select custom data. And yeah, we can choose audience for this notification. And we can add rule. So we can add a rule like app version or country and mobile carrier and languages, device model and OEM or many things. So by using, for instance, API level and equal to Android 3 or something like this, we can send a notification only for the user who has our Android SDK level 23 devices. And push notification is sent immediately after I click the button. It's a very good feature. Yep. And also, we can connect this Visual Studio App Center to Azure application eSites. So now you can do, what you can do is analyze mobile application, its client application, and analyze the web application on the cloud. It's perfect. So it's what I'm gonna say is like a sales, but you can start today for free. So Actually, it's after this service is general available, because I mean after release this application, you can use this application only for 30 days trial. But it's I think it's very good platform and worth trying. So this is what I prepared for today. So that's it. So if you have any questions, thanks.
Any questions?
Okay. Thank you for bearing my bad English.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, so let me stop broadcasting at this moment, and we can just discuss it.